Okay, thank you everybody. Quiet please, we're ready to begin. Alright, hello and welcome everybody to the 22-23 season here at European champions Everton. Now I can guarantee everybody, fans and media alike, that both myself and the players are determined to bring more trophies to the club this season. Now I'm sure there's going to be some questions, so yeah.
Ah yes, Harry Sidebottom, British journalist. Now Aussie, you had what many will consider to be a quiet transfer window. Now what makes you think you can challenge for trophies this year?
Look mate, I know that you and the media love quantity over quality, but that's not how we do things here at Everton. We prefer quality, and that's what we've brought in.
Yes, a follow-up if I may, Aussie. You only spent £32.5 million. Now that can't surely buy the quality you seem to think you have bought.
Alright. Canete costs £850,000, so he must be properly rubbish then. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, one more if I may, Aussie. So what is it you think you can achieve this season then?
We want to win the treble, mate. That's what we want to do. There's no more questions. I've got to get back to my apparently rubbish squad that didn't cost enough money for some people. So thank you for coming out, everybody, and we'll see you on the pitch.
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to episode 59 of... It's not really the first star anymore, is it? It's just sort of kind of welcome to Everton, I guess. And it is a brand new season. Now, obviously, we are defending European champions, but what we are going to do this year is try and both retain that trophy as well as win the Premier League. Now, this is our board expectations for the year. Premier League, they now want us to qualify for the Champions League, finish top four. That is the absolute minimum we want to be doing, isn't it? Champions League, we've gone from being happy to get out of the group, and now we want to be reaching the semi-final. That'll be tougher. Defending champions or not, that won't be easy. We have the UEFA Super Cup against Manchester United coming up this year. The board don't look at that as important. We'll do what we can, but we'll see how we go there. The FA Cup, they want us to reach the final. Yeah, no problem, guys. We'll see how, again, it depends on the draw, doesn't it? But I would like to try and do a treble if we can this year. So we'll see how far we can go in that. The Carabao Cup's not really important. What I've tended to do in the past, if you've watched my Villa save, is we'll use this to just kind of play the academy guys that are named after you. So we'll give everybody a run out in that and kind of see how far we can get. We probably won't win it, to be honest. But again, we'll see how far we can get. Let's have a look at the Premier League preview and kind of see what's expected of us. I did have a quick glance at this, and I did see we were third favourites, 4-1. We finished third in the league last year. That's probably about fair based on that. But I think we can do better. We had a really, really slow start to the season last year. So if we can get off to a decent start, I think we will really, really give it a shake. We don't have any players in the sort of All-Star 11, which surprises me a little bit, to be honest. I would have thought one or two of our players would have got a mention in there, but not to be, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, does it? Now, what should we do now? What we'll do, we'll have a quick look at the transfers. There was a transfer special last episode, so if you want to see how we reached this, then go and watch that one. But basically, the outs, Robinson's a nobody. Pennington we sold, defender, we're going to sort of move on from him, so he went off to Newcastle. Anthony Robinson went off to Bologna. Rajkovic went to Nottingham Forest. Now, that's our game today. Our first game in the Premier League is against Nottingham Forest, so no doubt we'll be seeing Rajkovic, and he'll probably have an absolute worldie of a game and keep us out. And then the only other real one that we've seen in the first team was Alex Denny. He's gone off to Scotland. He wasn't really going to be good enough for us. Once we had to register him in the squad, he was over 21. There was no real point in keeping him. The big ones over the ends, Lionel Zamora, really, really good deep-lying playmaker. He can get forward as well, so we can use him as a Mazzella or a box-to-box as well. He's just a good all-round developed midfielder, so hopefully he'll do well for us. The Mexican wonder kid. Bernardoni is just a number 2 goalkeeper. I don't even know that he'll play number 2 that often, to be honest, but we didn't pay much for him. We're not paying him much in wages, so that's fine. And then Adrien Bouvier, a wonder kid, wing up, just sort of looking to still progression of sort of the wingers that I think Everton have become famous for. Never mind Manchester United and their wingers, it's Everton and their wingers now, isn't it? So he's a good right winger, and he'll sort of make sure we keep that legacy going after the likes of Richarlison and Bernard and Raphinha move on. So that's what we did in the transfer window. Let's have a quick look at how pre-season has got on, and you can see... Let there be goals, guys. Let there be goals. First off, we played Genk. Now, this is a very good Belgian team. Tend to be in the Champions League or Europa League, and we absolutely smashed them. Canete with a goal, Selke with a double. There was an own goal, Bernard, Richarlison, and Vlasic all with the goals. Not too happy to concede two, to be honest. but not too bad. Then we played Macclesfield Town. Poor old Macclesfield Town. They never stood a chance. Selke got a goal. There was an own goal. Bernard with a double. Digne, Kenny, Tar, Cook, Travert with a double, and Stuart Taylor as well. I think just about everybody got a goal in that game. Then we played, I don't know who this, I'm assuming they're a Turkish team, judging by the Turkish flag in their logo. We had an off day in this one. Bobby Carroll got the goal for us. I think we just kind of maybe a little bit of overconfidence, having scored 18 goals in 2 games previously, and we just didn't really turn up against them. Then we played Sporting Lisbon. Again, we were dominant in this one. Bernard with a goal, Vlasic with a double. Happy days there. Then Columbus Crew, one of our affiliate teams. Again, another decent performance. Not thrilled to have conceded 2, but Raphinha got a double, Gomez got a double, and Lionel Zamora got his first for the club as well. Just happy days all around. Lots of goals. Now let's warm up for the season and have a look back at some of the best of them. There we go, some stunners in there. It certainly got me ready to go this season. Now, the one thing I did also have to do is introduce a new player, Gabe Wilson, named after one of you guys that are watching the channel. So we have a good, solid left winger in sort of the mould of Bouvier, I think, sort of the next generation of great Everton wingers. So we might look to see him maybe in the Carabao Cup, as I said. We'll look to give out a run out to some of you guys. Now, I know typically the naming of youth players is going to be something for my Patreons now, but given that we've already started naming players after you guys in this save, it doesn't seem kind of fair to just sort of have an arbitrary date where I stop doing it. So for this save, I'll continue doing it, but sort of on future moving on, it is just something for Patreons. The links for my Patreons down in the what's it called, description there. It's not something I want to bang on about. It's just something, if you do have $1 or $2 or £1 or £2 to help out the channel, support the channel, then fantastic. If not, thank you for watching. That's more than enough for me. Now, as I said, the first game this season is against Nottingham Forest. We're away from home, we're at home. What am I looking at here? So that's interesting. Now, you'll notice that we're sort of starting July 23rd. That's because this is the season we all have to look forward to, where there's the Winter World Cup. So pretty much November and December we don't play. So I came across this in my Villa save, if you've watched that, and it was a really, really difficult season because you pretty much play 3 times a week the entire season. Then you have sort of 2 months off, and then you play again twice a week for the rest of the season. There's 3 times a week for the rest of the season. So it's going to be difficult. The fixtures are going to be coming thick and fast at us. So it's going to be a lot of squad rotation. So I think anybody that's in the first team squad is going to get a lot of games this year. So let's have a quick look at the team we're sending out to play Nottingham Forest on the opening day. I do think it's important that we try and get off to a really good start here. Now, a quick look at the scouting report. Now, they do have a new manager, which makes it a little bit difficult to know exactly what they're going to do. But they're expected to be sort of just an adventurous standard passing team. If we have a look at the analyst report, again, it's difficult to know because it's a new manager. But you can see from their positional heat map that they're quite narrow. So we're going to look to exploit the flanks in this one, try and get down the outside. The fact that they keep a bit of a high line as well means that we should be able to get our wingers in behind them. Their passing network, I don't really know how to read that, to be honest. They just pass a lot around each other in midfield. And the key passes, you can see they do tend to be longish passes. So I think what we'll try and do to sort of counteract that is we'll just we won't push up too high just so that they can't really go over our heads. But this is the team for the opening day of the Premier League season. It is Lafont in goal, an absolute superstar for us last year. I'm sure that will continue on this year. Digne, he goes down the left wing, or left fullback I should say. Tar will get the start in centre of defence along with Luis Felipe. Those two were pretty much rock solid for us last year, so we'll keep them going. And Milo goes at right back as well, an absolute wonder kid, 18 years old and just keeps performing for us. Axel Witsel, club captain, he's got... Excuse me, I'm choking to death here. Not to death, but I can't breathe. Axel Witsel goes as the DM, and Canete, an absolute star in the making. It was now 20 years old and just continuing to get better and better and better. The wingers for this one, we're going to go with Richarlison, and we're going to go with Bernard. That is because Raphinha had a bit of you remember he got injured at the end of last year. He had a bit of a knock in pre-season, and remember that it hasn't been that long since the end of last season. We're still in July. So he's on the bench for this one. I don't want to risk an injury because, as I've said, lots of fixtures coming thick and fast. Vlasic goes in the number 10 role to start the season. Unfortunate perhaps for Gomez, but they're all going to be important players for us. And Davie Selke up top. On the bench, we're going to start with Nick. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to put Bernardoni on. He's on the bench for this one. We bought him as number 2. You can see Michael Stevens. He's still away with in the England under-19s. That's how early we are. The youth tournaments are still going on. So he's not here for this one. So Bernardoni, the backup, will come in and play on the bench for this one. Stark, he is unlucky not to start. We have 3 really, really good centre-backs that any of them can play. So Stark's going to start on the bench for this one. Taimon, the backup left-back, almost as good as Digne, to be honest. So we don't lose much there. Zamora, he'll play a lot this year, but he's on the bench to start. We might try and get a debut out of the way nice and early for him if we can. Sergio Gomez, absolute quality midfielder for us as well. Raphinha, as I said, starts on the bench for this one, as does Terry Cook. Expecting big things from Terry this year. He got 15 goals across all competitions last year. I'd like to think he could get to 20 this year. So they are playing a 4-4-2, which wasn't really, as you saw from the scout report there, it wasn't what we were expecting. So they've taught us out a little bit there. Rajkovic does make his debut. There's a lot of debutants in this team. Look at that. More than half the team are making their first start. So the advantage we have of not signing too many players is that we're familiar with each other. I'm hoping to get off to a much quicker start this year. And the fact that they have a lot of new players out there makes me think hopefully they're not going to be quite at their fluid best just yet. We're the favourites here. Expect nothing but a win. Where the favourites go, they give the fans a performance. It's a good first day team talk, I think. Everybody loves the opening day of a season. You're excited, you're up for it, you're ready to go. So hopefully we can put on a performance here for them. It is a newly promoted team. Now, I never like playing a newly promoted team first day of the year because they tend to be up for it, don't they? But yeah, we'll see how we go here. I'd like to, as I said, given that we are pretty much the same team, they have a lot of debutants. I'd like to think we can beat them quite comfortably here. Digne, ball to the back post. Vladic's going to retrieve that. He probably could have left it to Milo, to be fair. Puts it back in for Davie Selke. Can't quite take it down. Canete's there for Bernard. Oh, he's off the post. Off the post for Bernard. He hasn't quite got his radar on just yet, has he? Let's give it another get creative, or maybe the first get creative. Can't remember if I clicked that or not before. Here we go from a corner. Canete knocks it in. It's there. Oh, it's Witsel, and he's powered in the header. The captain has given us the lead. What's happened here? We're reviewing the video footage. Why are we reviewing video footage? It looked okay. I think it's been given. I don't know what the problem is there. Witsel, I don't see what the problem is with that. So it looks like it's been given. That's fine. 1-0 to Everton. That is the main thing. Let's throw out a demand more now. More of that, please, boys. We don't want to rest on our laurels here. We want to try and get a couple of goals in front. Rajkovic with a yellow card. I don't have any ill feeling towards Rajkovic. That's outside the box, I think. Only just, though. Oh, come on, referee. It's a free kick. Can I just tell him there? Just all right, ref. Just look at me jogging on the spot there, back to my seat. There we go. A bit of a waste of everybody's time here, isn't it? Really, Spurs have taken the lead. Yeah, let me know what you think our expectations should be for this season. Like I say, a treble would be the dream, wouldn't it? Canete, that's not the best free kick we've ever seen. He probably, from that angle, should have given it out there. Number 20, is that... Who was that? Bernard. Bernard with a nice ball in there for Vlasic. They've just kind of crowded us out. We should pick that up, and that is the end of the highlight. I think we got off to we were like 9th or 10th coming into October, November last year. We really got off to a poor start. I'd like to think we don't do that this year, and we can really, really... I mean, even with that, we took it down to the last few games, didn't we? That silly draw against West Ham. Oh, that's an absolute... Oh, it's offside. I was going to say, it was an absolute just sitter for Richarlison, but it was probably a sitter because he started from an offside position. Yeah, I'd like to think that with a good start and not dropping silly points... Oh, he's only just offside, isn't he? With a good start and not dropping silly points to West Ham... I do wonder what would have happened in that, that last game against City. Because as it was, I kind of chickened out, not wanting to have injuries for the Champions League final, and they only just beat us. I think it was 1-0 off the top of my head. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. I would have liked to have seen, or had at least had the chance to have that game mean something. We've more or less dominated without particularly looking great. So we'll go. Things are going well. You're capable of better. People here that aren't playing that well, we'll just give them a quick. Not happy with you. Just calmly. We don't need to annoy anybody first game of the year, but we have standards now, don't we? High standards. Some passionate. We have faith in the other boys. And on we go. Now, if you are just discovering the channel for the new season, typically we'll do 2 games. First game of the year, I like to go through sort of a recap of everything with expectations for the season. I don't want videos getting too long, so we'll just do the one game today. But next episode, you may have seen, I think it's a Merseyside derby, it's Liverpool, and I think it's Manchester United as well, which is coming up. So that will be a stunning episode next time out. Canete with a corner again, it's bouncing around, and we just can't quite find it. Milo wins the header. Is that going to continue the highlight here? Canete has it. It looks like it might be going to. Milo, no, that's the end of it there. All right, let's throw a demand more out there, see if we can get anything going here. Ideally, I'd really like to get another goal, and then we could bring Zamora on for Witsel. The problem with doing that right now is that Witsel's a more defensive sound player, so while the game's sort of in the balance here, I don't want to be taking him off. That's a good ball out there for Digne getting forward. Back post, Richarlison! He's onside that time. That is 2-0. And now I do wonder if it is the time to get Digne on the field. Digne's name for the assist. To get Zamora on the field, get his debut out of the way. We'll demand more. We won't quite praise him yet. It's a nice sort of ball out there from Vlasic, wasn't it? Good ball to the back post, and Richarlison onside that time. And putting the ball into the back of the net. Excellent stuff. Selke's not having his best game. We'll bring Terry Cook on for him. I do want to get this debut out of the way for Zamora, I'm honest. So let's bring him on for Witsel. At 2-0, we should be okay here, surely, shouldn't we? We've absolutely dominated the game. Our shooting hasn't been fantastic, but otherwise we've looked quite good. West Ham's got the lead against Ipswich. Here goes Bernard on a run. He finds Richarlison! Oh, 2 goals for Richarlison, 3 goals for Everton, and we are looking good. We're picked up right where we left off last year, which is what I was really hoping, to be honest, by not necessarily signing that many players. Richarlison flirting with offside, wasn't he, really? I mean, he's probably played it well. But give yourself a little bit of margin there, mate. We don't need you to be... How close was that? It was this guy here that played him on. Or it was the guy at the back that played him on. So in the end, he was fine. He did leave himself a bit of a margin, but right on the edge there. Is there any other subs we want to make? I do wonder if we want to bring Raphinha on, actually, and just give him a little bit of match fitness. Given that Richarlison's on a hat-trick, we'll take off Bernard. We'll switch them around. Raphinha's better on the right. Richarlison can kind of do either. United's taken the lead, a late lead against was it Newcastle. got work to do here defending a corner. Can we do it? Can we ever? Milo's there. Raphinha brings it down, but can't quite keep control of the ball. Don't do a lunge. Don't do a lunge. Don't do a lunge. Back to the keeper. All the way back to Rajkovic. Polite applause from the Everton fans. We remember what he did for us. Solid number 2, wasn't he? Now this is a long old highlight now, and Forest do still have the ball, so not ideal. It is good to see Forest back in the Premier League, isn't it? They're one of those teams that you just feel should be there. Oh, they've nodded that down, and Lafont sees it just past the post. It might be time to throw out a demand more there. Just maybe letting our standards if Richarlison's injured. No, we can't take him off. Well, we can take him off. I know how to do that. 1 second. Let's wait for the end of this highlight. Oh, we chose poorly, didn't we? We really, in the end, needed to apparently take off Richarlison and not Bernard. And as I say, given that the fixtures are coming thick and fast, we really don't want injuries at all. Little niggles, so those orange injuries, need to come off straight away to limit them to just a day or two. And even then, that's probably still going to cost them a game. Forest playing quite well here, aren't they? They're making us work for it. Okay, now I did figure this out at some point. If you right-click, take off. There we go. And then you know what we'll do? I think Vlasic can play out there, so we'll just stick Vlasic out there. That's fine. That's fine. The game's essentially done anyway. Even with a man down, we better not be conceding 3 goals in 5 minutes. Highlight continues here. Let's see what we can do. Back to Lafont. Just patience. Huddersfield 4-0 up away to Fulham. That's a decent result for them, isn't it? Here goes Zamora. First, I think that's the first touch we've seen on the channel. Here goes Vlasic. Now we know he can run like the wind. Ball out there for Raphinha. Can he cross it in for somebody? He can. Back post. It's Vlasic. It's just over the bar. Unlucky, unlucky, unlucky. We'll throw out a bit of praise here if we can, just at the end. I think we've played quite well, to be honest. First game of the year. Still 4 minutes to go. This is a proper highlight. Vlasic. Even with 10 men, we're still looking at the better team, aren't we? Canete out for Milo. Can he get a cross in? It's blocked. Can we get to that? We will with Zamora. Nicely done. Nice pass out there for Milo as well. Exchanges with Canete. Can he get a cross in? He goes for Raphinha. Back to Milo. Back to Raphinha. Raphinha crosses it in, and Vlasic with a nice little volley finish, it looks like, on the back post. 4-0. What an opening day result this is. Promoted team or not, this is a really, really good performance. If this is what we've got to look forward to this year. We've looked good attacking. A few dodgy moments at the back, perhaps, towards the end of this second half. That's a cracking finish, isn't it, from Vlasic? Yeah, a few dodgy moments in defence where they've put past the post, where they possibly could have done better. He's onside. Yeah, you can see that they look a little bit disjointed. They look like a team with, 6 or 7 debutants, don't they? But that's all fine. We're top of the table. Long may that continue. And this is now going to be the end of the game. What a first day performance. Opening day performance from the mighty, mighty Everton. That is dominance. Absolute dominance. And we can only really be happy with that. Actually, you know what? We've played well. Don't get complacent. Oh, for Richarlison, 2 to 3 weeks. That's a disappointment, isn't it? I mean, really, the good thing there too is that we've played quite well. We've scored goals, and Selke and Bernard have had off days. We did get that Zamora debut out of the way, and a quick glance at the early league table, and there we go. Long may that continue. Guys, if you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. It lets me know people are watching and enjoying the videos, and also helps people find the channel, which is obviously something I'm very appreciative of. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload new episodes. And we will be back next time for Liverpool at home, Manchester United away. 2 massive, massive games. 2 early season, possibly defining games that could just, let us know exactly how close we are going to go to this league title. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Aussie Villain. Take care.